real champs eat at McDonald's. I'm loving it.
From Dumbledore to Victoria, everyone has secrets, and McDonald's is no exception. Here are 20 McDonald's secrets employees don't want you to know.
One last mystery to solve.
The broken ice cream machine.
Who wants ice cream?
Who hasn't had the experience of craving a McFlurry and going to the closest McDonald's only to have your excitement crushed by an employee telling you that the ice cream machine is broken? Now, there are rumors floating around about how employees just say that because they don't want to bother making the desserts.
I'm a little busy, okay?
But according to many former employees, the machines actually do break down on a fairly regular basis, which brings up the question of why McDonald's corporate can't get more reliable machines. But that's a question for another time. Sauce swap.
I want some sauce.
Have you ever imagined what a Quarter Pounder would taste like with Big Mac sauce? Or how about a Big Mac without the sauce? Yes, we know it all sounds like some crazy sci-fi fantasy, but it doesn't have to be. If you want it, you can have it. While you may have never thought about it before, you can totally ask for any sauce on any item.
See? You can do it.
Knowing this will open up whole new levels of tastes and flavor combos that you probably never considered. Now, what do you think they would do if you were to ask for Big Mac sauce on an Egg McMuffin? Cash-only moments.
Keep moving, deadbeat. Cash only.
In this day and age, when so many people pay for everything using cards, their phones, and even their watches, there are going to be moments when you still need good old cold hard cash. You see, at 24-hour McDonald's, there's a time in every 24-hour period when the employees have to do a full system restart.
Reset!
And while this doesn't mean you can't get food, it does mean that for those 30 to 90 minutes as the system restarts, they can only accept cash as payment. In fact, the employee taking the order can't even enter it into the system and must write it down by hand and add up the total themselves. Special requests suck.
I can do something special, but not for today.
McDonald's isn't Starbucks. While your Starbucks barista might have no issues with your custom order of a mocha latte with half foam, half oat milk, a sprinkle of cinnamon, and 2 extra shots of espresso, the good folks working at McDonald's aren't as happy about special orders. It's not that they don't want you to have it your way.
Do whatever you want, just don't tell me about it.
It's just that your way is probably making an issue for everyone else ordering food at that time. You see, when you make some custom requests, the person fulfilling the order has to stop what they're doing and go ask what the special request is before going back and completing the order. This means longer for you to wait and longer for everyone else to get their food as well. The truth about the poor man's Big Mac.
Let's tell the truth. Let's tell the truth.
Sure, McDonald's might be less expensive than many other restaurants, but that doesn't mean it's cheap. Gone are the days of 15-cent cheeseburgers and 10-cent fries. These days, McDonald's will still leave a hole in your wallet, even if it's a smaller one than other places. And with that in mind, we don't blame anyone for trying to hack the menu to get the most bang for your buck.
You think I'm rich? I'm not rich.
Like with the poor man's Big Mac, a McDouble with mac sauce and shredded lettuce. We gotta admit, it's a pretty smart order. However, as one employee wrote online, you will get upcharged for some of those items. 30 cents for the mac sauce and 20 to 30 cents for the shredded lettuce. Fresh apple pie?
Eat deconstructed apple pie!
Not everything we read is true, but when it comes to expiration dates, we never thought those would sometimes turn out to be untrue, especially when a large company like McDonald's is involved. But according to a report quoting an actual employee of one of the restaurants, when it comes to the apple pies, the expiration date you see might not be the original one that was marked on the container.
Isn't that illegal?
We aren't sure if this is corporate policy, and we're hoping it isn't, but this employee did say that when the apple pies would expire, they would just slap on a new expiration date. Stop asking for fries with no salt.
Hi, I said no salt!
Obviously, if you're on a low-sodium diet or have health issues relating to salt, then of course you should always ask for McDonald's French fries without salt. However, as we all know, there are a number of people out there who use that hack as a way of getting fresh-made fries. The problem is that when you do that, the employees are required to then clean out the basket and the scoop and make a new batch just for you.
I deserve that.
This is annoying and time-consuming for the workers, and it really isn't necessary. You can actually just ask for fresh fries, and they'll make them fresh for you without having to desalt the equipment. Artisan equals longer.
We don't have time, we have stuff to do.
While they may not like to call themselves fast food restaurants anymore, we all have certain expectations when it comes to McDonald's and how long it will take for us to get our food. Well, if speed is the most important factor in your experience, then you might want to stay away from their artisanal sandwiches.
Agreed.
They might look interesting, and they often do taste good, but they also take longer to make. There are special processes for assembly, and some of them have longer cooking times. All this means that it takes longer to prepare it and longer to get it to you. So if you really want it, just be patient. They let the food sit.
Is the tabbouleh fresh?
It's not fresh.
It seems some outlets will let the food sit under heat lamps for a lot longer than the official corporate rules dictate, like leaving fries to sit out for 15 or 20 minutes instead of the required 7, or resetting the timer and having meat sit for an hour longer than the mandated 20-minute limit.
I'm calling the police.
Now, during a busy rush, this isn't an issue given how fast the food is flying off the grill and out of the deep fryer. However, during slow periods, we might recommend asking for a fresh serving of whatever you order. High-calorie salads.
Today's active humans prefer a low-calorie bait.
If you're one of those people who thinks it's strange to order a salad at McDonald's, well, you can sit there chowing down on your Big Mac or McDouble and feel even more superior knowing that your meal is healthier than theirs. This isn't for all of the salad options, but it is a fact that a number of them actually have more calories, fat, and even sodium than some of the burger choices on the same menu.
What a twist.
Now, often the bulk of that sodium, fat, and those calories come in the dressing. So if you are eating a salad to be healthy, we guess you could eat it dry, but that doesn't sound very enjoyable, does it? The McNuggets are chicken, but...
No, man. I mean, well, yeah, but...
You may remember a while back when that image of pink slime was making its way around the internet as being the sludge used by McDonald's to make their McNuggets. Well, the good news is that wasn't McNugget slime. The bad news is that because of that slime, McDonald's put out a video showing how they actually make McNuggets.
I had to!
While they do start off with real chicken, yay! From there, they take the breast meat, some chicken skin, and spices and grind it all up into a chicken mash that they form into McNuggets. But at least, contrary to the rumors, it is actual chicken being used. Hope you don't want fresh onions.
No, of course not. Of course not.
In order to get the food prepared and served as fast as possible, McDonald's is always coming up with ways to shave a few seconds off the preparation times. And apparently, cutting fresh onions is just way too time-consuming a task for employees to be concerned with.
Oh, not again.
Oh, come on.
So how do they get those onions that go on your burger? Can you say dehydrated onions? That's right, they're like sea monkeys. Just add water and watch them grow. If you've never noticed, we guess that's a good thing, since they taste just like fresh-cut onions. What's in the McRib?
I wasn't aware of, what was going on with the McRib sandwich.
A lot of chefs will tell you that often the most delicious dish is the simplest. Well, it appears that McDonald's doesn't follow that philosophy, especially when it comes to their McRib sandwich. According to multiple reports, the McRib consists of close to 70 ingredients. That includes the rib itself, which without bones isn't actually a rib.
Really? Really?
The rib is actually multiple parts of the pig, along with lots of salt. And there are supposedly 34 ingredients in the bun alone, including a variety of chemicals. Well, at least the pig parts and the chemicals they use are tasty, right? The 5-second rule.
And in about 5 seconds, you're gonna see why.
As Mythbusters fans will know, the 5-second rule isn't a real thing. According to Jamie and Adam's findings, a mere millisecond on the dirty ground will contaminate a food item, making 5 seconds seem like a dirty eternity.
I just
can't wait any longer.
And yet, it would appear that some McDonald's employees still believe the myth, because according to what one McDonald's worker posted on Reddit, many times buns and nuggets would be dropped onto the floor just to be picked up and served anyway. Obviously, this doesn't happen all the time, but shouldn't even one time be too many. No sitting at the drive-thru.
Hey, you want to sit down?
I'm good. Everyone knows that sitting all day is bad for you. According to the new science, sitting is the new smoking. But that doesn't mean that everyone should just stand all day, especially in one place. And yet, that is what McDonald's employees who work at the drive-thru window are expected to do.
It's awful, awful, awful.
They are to stand at that window for hours on end, and supposedly there is an actual rule against them sitting during that time. This can take a toll on a person's lower back and feet, especially if they aren't used to standing so much. Why can't they at least just give them a stool? The French fries aren't just potatoes.
Yeah, French fries. Bon free.
Okay, before we get into this one, we just want to say that like most people out there, we love McDonald's French fries. We assume there are others out there who, like us, assumed French fries were fried potatoes, plain and simple.
What are you trying to say?
But the truth is that while they do start with fresh potatoes, there are a bunch of other ingredients that go into making what ends up on our tray. Besides salt, a variety of oils, citric acid, natural beef flavor, wheat, and milk can all be found on the McDonald's fries ingredients list. Don't do breakfast after 11 a.m.
It's too late for that, my dear. Far too late.
It certainly was exciting the day McDonald's announced all-day breakfasts. Knowing you could go to a Mickey D's at any time and order an Egg McMuffin without having the cashier tell you they stopped serving breakfast already. However, therein also lies the problem.
We got a problem here?
You see, once it gets to about 10:30 or 11 a.m., that's when they get going on the lunch menu items, and the breakfast selections become more of an afterthought, meaning the breakfast sandwich you order at noon could have been sitting under the heat lamp for the last hour and a half. No secret menu.
It's their menu.
The menu of lunatics.
The secret McDonald's menu. That mythical list of food items that you can only get if you're in the know. Well, the problem is that there is not actually any secret menu. There's no secret club, no items that only the cool kids know about, nothing.
I'm not cool.
The McDonald's menu everyone sees is the only menu, so don't try to impress your date by asking for something from the secret menu, because as one employee stated online, whenever people ask about the secret menu, we just roll our eyes. Avoid the eye rolls and order from the regular and only menu. The drive-thru speaker hears everything.
You recorded a private conversation without Marcia's permission.
These days, we're all aware that the smart speakers in our house are listening to us at all times, and the phone in your pocket is tracking your every move. But if you thought you were safe from eavesdropping in the McDonald's drive-thru lane, think again.
Can you do that for me?
From the time you pull up to that order box until you physically drive off, the people working the drive-thru hear everything you say. So if you're on the phone as you pull up, they hear it. Listening to your favorite boy band song from the 90s that you only listen to when no one else is in the car, they hear it. So be aware. Stay out of the PlayPlace.
Dad, this place is really dangerous.
Kids are super cute, but they're also germ factories with dirty hands that love touching anything and everything, including each other. And, how do we put this delicately, they also can't always control their bowels.
What do you mean?
One employee posted online about the time a kid dropped his pants and then dropped a number 2 all the way down the slide. Of course, this is an extreme example, but it's definitely a reason to wonder about the sanitation of the McD's PlayPlace. Jump into more great videos. Just tap or click. Leave us a comment, hit that subscribe button, and ring that notification bell.